Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Take a look around the universe. It's filled with, well, stuff. Trillions of stars, countless galaxies, planets, moons, asteroids, all visible, all accounted for. We've built a cosmic inventory, a grand catalog of everything we can see, measure, and touch with our robotic probes. But what if the most profound discoveries aren't waiting in the light, but are hiding in the dark? What if our solar system, our very own cosmic backyard, is haunted? Not by ghosts in the supernatural sense, but by phantom objects. Colossal bodies whose presence we can feel, whose gravitational influence we can trace like footprints in the snow, but whose form we cannot see. You're beginning to realize that the map of our own solar system might be terrifyingly incomplete. And deep in the frozen abyss beyond Neptune, the clues are mounting that we are not alone. Something massive, dark, and unknown is out there, silently pulling the strings of our solar system's outermost worlds. To understand this phantom, we first have to travel to the edge of our known world. Journey with me past the rocky inner planets, past the colossal gas giants Jupiter and Saturn, beyond the ice giants Uranus and Neptune. Here, more than 30 times farther from the sun than the Earth, you enter a realm of perpetual twilight, the Kuiper Belt. This is the debris field of creation, a vast, donut-shaped ring of trillions of icy bodies, remnants from the solar system's formation. For decades, we thought we had a decent handle on it. The gravity of Neptune, the last great planetary sentinel, was the undisputed king of this realm, shaping the orbits of everything within its reach. But then, in 2003, we found something that broke the rules. An object named Sedna. Sedna's orbit was bizarre. It was enormously elongated, swinging out to nearly 1,000 times the Earth-Sun distance. But more strangely, its closest approach to the sun was still incredibly far out, well beyond Neptune's gravitational grasp. It was a detached object, a cosmic castaway. It was like finding a boat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with no motor, no sails, and no currents that could possibly have taken it there. How did it get there? It was a puzzle. For years, Sedna was a lone oddity. But then we found more. Objects like 2012 VP-113, nicknamed Biden, and several others. They too were detached, with strange, stretched-out orbits that Neptune couldn't explain. This is where the ghost story truly begins. In 2016, astronomers Mike Brown and Konstantin Batygin at Caltech noticed something that sent a shiver down the spine of the astronomical community. They weren't just looking at one or two of these strange objects anymore. They had a group of 6 of the most distant ones. And when they plotted their orbits, they saw the impossible. All 6 of these objects had their elongated orbits pointing in the same direction, like a handful of needles, all swinging to point to the same invisible magnet. Furthermore, the orbits themselves were all tilted at the same angle relative to the rest of the solar system. The odds of this happening by pure chance? Something like 1 in 14,000. It was statistically absurd. It wasn't random. It was a pattern. It was the footprint of a monster. This was the birth of the Planet 9 hypothesis. Brown and Batygin proposed that the only thing that could shepherd these tiny, icy worlds into such a strange, aligned configuration was the persistent, gravitational nudge of a massive, unseen planet. Phantom world lurking in the darkness. They ran the numbers, creating simulations that stretched over billions of years. Their models predicted that a planet with about 5 to 10 times the mass of Earth, a so-called super-Earth or mini-Neptune, could perfectly explain the clustering. This wasn't some small, Pluto-like object. This was a true, substantial planet, the 5th largest in our solar system, bigger than Earth, Mars, Venus, and Mercury combined. Its proposed orbit is almost beyond comprehension. It would take Planet 9 somewhere between 10,000 and 20,000 years to make a single trip around the sun. At its most distant, it could be 1,000 times farther from the sun than we are. At its closest, it would still be hundreds of times farther out. This isn't a neighbor. This is a recluse, living in a realm of unimaginable cold and darkness, a world where the sun would appear as little more than an exceptionally bright star. Its gravity, however, would reach across the void. Over eons, its influence would act like a cosmic shepherd, gently herding the Kuiper Belt objects into the bizarre, aligned orbits we see today. It explains why they are detached from Neptune. They are under the gravitational spell of a much more distant and massive master. So if it's there, why can't we see it? The answer is the tyranny of distance. An object 10 times the mass of Earth, but 600 times farther from the sun, would be 160,000 times fainter than Neptune. It reflects an infinitesimal amount of sunlight, and its own internal heat would be negligible. Finding it is like trying to spot a single piece of coal on a moonless night from 100 miles away. The search is a painstaking process. Astronomers use the most powerful telescopes on Earth, like the Subaru telescope in Hawaii, to take deep images of huge patches of sky. They then compare images taken hours or days apart, looking for a single, impossibly faint pinprick of light that has moved ever so slightly against the fixed backdrop of distant stars and galaxies. The search area is vast. You don't know where Planet 9 is in its colossal 20,000-year orbit. It could be at its closest point, making it brighter and easier to find, or it could be near its farthest point, rendering it almost invisible to our current technology. It's a cosmic manhunt of the highest order, and the tension is palpable. Every new, slow-moving object detected in the outer solar system brings a flutter of excitement. Could this be it? So far, every candidate has been ruled out. A phantom remains a phantom. Of course, in science, you must always consider the alternatives. What if we're chasing a ghost that isn't there? One major counterargument is observational bias. Perhaps the only reason we see a cluster of objects pointing in one direction is because our telescopes have mostly been looking in that direction. It's like only searching for lost keys under a streetlight and concluding that all keys are lost under streetlights. Astronomers are acutely aware of this, and new sky surveys are being designed to be as unbiased as possible, scanning the heavens more uniformly. And so far, as more of these extreme objects are found, the clustering seems to be holding up. But what if the gravitational force doesn't come from a planet at all? This is where the theories slide into the truly exotic. One mind-bending possibility is that the phantom is not a planet, but a primordial black hole. This wouldn't be a black hole born from a collapsed star, but a much smaller, more ancient type, theoretically forged in the fiery chaos of the Big Bang itself. If this were the case, an object with the mass of 10 Earths would be no bigger than a grapefruit. It would be completely invisible, emitting no light of its own. It would be the ultimate phantom, its presence betrayed only by its immense gravity. Finding such an object would be even more revolutionary than finding a new planet, confirming the existence of a theoretical object and opening a new window into the first moments of the universe. There's another, less dramatic but still compelling idea. Maybe there is no single, large object. Perhaps the gravitational shepherding is being done by the collective mass of the Kuiper belt itself. What if the combined, subtle gravity of trillions of smaller rocks and icy bodies is enough to organize these outlier orbits over billions of years, without the need for a single, dominant planet? The math on this is complex and still being debated. It's a question of whether a diffuse disk of material can have the same organizing effect as a single, massive point of gravity. The jury is still out. But let's imagine for a moment that Brown and Badigan are right. Imagine tomorrow an announcement is made. A faint, slow-moving dot of light has been confirmed. Planet 9 is real. The implications would be staggering. First, our solar system would officially have 9 planets again, fundamentally redrawing the map of our cosmic home. But the questions it would raise are even more profound than the discovery itself. Where did it come from? Super-Earths like Planet 9 are the most common type of planet we see around other stars, yet we don't seem to have one in the inner part of our solar system. Did Planet 9 form alongside Jupiter and Saturn, and then get violently ejected into the outer darkness during a chaotic planetary rearrangement billions of years ago? Or, perhaps more thrillingly, was it a rogue? A homeless planet, wandering through interstellar space, that was captured by our sun's gravity long ago. The discovery of Planet 9 wouldn't just be finding a new world. It would be uncovering a dramatic and violent chapter in our solar system's hidden history. So here we stand, on the precipice of a potentially monumental discovery. We have a crime scene, a set of bizarrely aligned orbits that defy our understanding of the solar system. We have a set of footprints, a clear gravitational disturbance pointing to a massive, unseen culprit. We have our prime suspect, the phantom Planet 9, along with more exotic possibilities like a grapefruit-sized black hole. The hunt is on, as the largest eyes on Earth scan the deep dark, hoping to catch a glimpse of the ghost. It's a powerful reminder that even here, in our own celestial neighborhood, there are vast, unexplored frontiers. We are haunted by the simple, tantalizing possibility that the greatest secret of our solar system is still out there, waiting to be found. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my YouTube channel for more interesting videos. For now, we can only look up at the night sky and wonder what unseen giant is silently shaping the darkness just beyond our reach.